Hey gang, JD here. So, I've been debating for a very long time whether or not this universe actually exists, or if it is part of something else entirely, a la The Matrix. Of course, it is nearly impossible to observe what is outside the universe because the senses cannot be trusted. There is nothing to say that what we see, hear, or feel is actually real. Ever since I watched The Matrix in 1999, I had been curious about this very thing. I, at first, dismissed it as creative fantasy, but in 2015, I had experienced something that could not be explained by physics. Now, I know coincidences happen, and that is no reason to disbelieve the existence of the universe. But when coincidences are chained so precisely and yet so randomly, it seems like there is indeed an invisible hand controlling everything around me. Like the Truman Show. I felt like I was being controlled, contained by some invisible barrier, and like existence, I could no longer discern what was real and what it was I just imagined. The lines between reality and imagination became so blurred that I thought we had to be living in a controlled reality. But of course, it was impossible to prove such a thing. Everything just seemed to be happening for a reason. Everything was leading me. A perfectly chained, harmonious string of events that I could not otherwise explain. But recently, the chain just seemed too perfect, not natural. Nature doesn't create perfection. I like to think of nature as perfection in its imperfection. When things happen in nature, the time frames of events tend to overlap, or there is a gap in time between one event and the next. But I have witnessed events that happen sequentially, one after another, with no overlap and no gap. And one or two might be explained away as unbelievable coincidence. But five events so precisely chained cannot be coincidence. And I see this happen frequently. Nature cannot create such perfect synchronicity. It is naturally impossible. So, barring a 1% error for extreme coincidence, I am 99% sure that this universe does not really exist. And we are living in a controlled reality. There just doesn't seem to be any other logical or physical explanation for the way events unfold in this world. And if it is controlled by computers, the computers use such a skewed interpretation of natural events. So now I've debunked time and space. But what do you think of my hypothesis? If anyone could provide any other explanation for how events unfold in our reality, please comment about it below. And consider donating to my Patreon. Link below. Also, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again, and I look forward to sharing again with you next time.